Dexter was in here saying yesterday or 2 days ago, everybody's so excited about the Giants' pass rush, what's gonna, and he said his message was like, it doesn't matter if we can't win first and second down. Last 2 years, run defense has been a major problem for this defense. How do you guys go about fixing it as one of the middle linebackers?
Yeah, I mean, run game's holistic. It takes everybody. I will say, like, we're glad about all the additions, but I think first and foremost that comes down to communication and guys talking on the back, behind us and letting us know the rotation and where's everybody's gap and all that, and then playing aggressive and playing true up front.
If the Giants are going to be better, does it start like at the top of the list? Does it start with improving the run defense?
Yeah, on the defense for sure. I mean, that's where it starts. If you can't stop the run, you can't stop anything. So, it'll be a major focus for us.
So what do you think of the new guys, Alexander, Will Robertson? Obviously, the Giants made a big investment in the defensive front.
Yeah, everybody, looks really good. It's good for linebackers when you have those type of guys in front of you. You can run and hit, and even on the back end, Jevon, Paulson. It's exciting, but obviously we're working on putting it all together.
But everyone, we're talking about Jevon. Everyone says communication. What did you just mention that before about the back end? What does that mean, and what do you sense from him? It seems easy to communicate, but not everyone. He seems to be very good at it.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's important knowing where the safety's rotating down, who he has, the responsibility of the guys, and a lot of times we're working with him in our coverage fit and the run scheme as well. And sometimes that call needs to get all the way down to the D line, and and back, like wherever the D line are shifting to, or where they're lining up, we gotta get that communicated as well. So. It's crucial for our success on the defensive side.
Can you tell already he's good at it? Is there an example of him being good at it?
Yeah, I mean, he's a veteran, so he knows what it looks like. He knows how quick it needs to be, there's things we're correcting every day, and just being on top of that, knowing the moment something's up, that we can alert that. Over communicating, I think, is the biggest thing for us. Is just being alert to what's going to happen before it happens.
Micah, you've seen a lot of talented players in front of you from that vantage point. I know a lot of us get caught the first 3 days watching after seeing where he is. Just curious, maybe when you watch back or even live in games, what's been your take, impression on that?
Yeah, I mean, he's a talent for sure. Really twitchy, and he's physical at the same time. So, when you have a player like that, it helps everybody out. There's a play yesterday where he took on the puller and the second guy, and a lot of times we talked about it in our meeting, like a lot of times in the run scheme you got to make up the math because they might have more numbers than we have, and when you have a player that can do that, it helps everybody out.
Is it fun seeing you normally don't have the big guys up front or even the edge guys kind of at time back playing with you, right, being in that situation? For a guy that talented to be able to be that versatile, and does that just add to it, what you're saying?
Yeah, no, I mean, it makes us more multiple. Like you're talking about, when you have a guy who can play off the ball, Burns is the same way. We're going to use him in that way as well. So it's exciting to have those type of players on our team for sure.
Like, it's your contract year. Anything on your mind in terms of, like, does that add pressure, improve it? I mean, obviously you're an established guy. I mean, have any talks with the Giants about staying here? I think right now just focus on training camp and trying to improve. I think there's a lot of things that I can focus on to get better, and there hasn't been anything yet, and I'm just going to focus on what we're doing right now.
How does it feel to get back out there?
It's been great. We had a good run in the OTAs, but it feels good to be back out with the team.
Do you feel like you were playing your best ball right before you got hurt last year?
Yeah, I felt like I was starting to hit my stride a little bit. Everything was starting to come together, so it made it a little frustrating when the season came to an end when it did. But I want to continue to build off that and grow this year.
Like, you remember being in the locker room on Thanksgiving when you found out you hurt. I think you spiked your shoes. Was that just the frustration of, like, I was just getting there and now I have a setback?
I mean, I think it was a little frustration on how the game went. I was already not happy with the outcome, and then finding out the injury right after just kind of added insult to injury on there.
You've been out here since spring, practicing with the guys. Are you still managing the foot? Any worries about it?
Yeah, no worries on my end. I'm back full go, no restrictions or limitations.
How is it? Sometimes a player has to adjust to a new quarterback. you have to adjust to a lot of new quarterbacks. You know, how has that been for you?
Yeah, there's definitely been a learning curve for sure. Russ does things differently from anyone I've had for sure. He's got a ton of knowledge. So in the spring and even the summer, you know, we've had throwing sessions and stuff, just kind of getting on the same page, you know, speaking the same language, seeing things the way he sees them. So I think, you know, we're continuing to build that, and I think we're in a good spot right now.
When you say he's done differently than any other quarterback, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, just his experience. He has an idea of what he wants things to look and how he thinks a concept should look. Our system, you know, has ideas as well. So it's just kind of merging together and coming together and finding a middle ground.
Is it better for a still young player that you have someone who is so decisive? You know what I mean? There's no, I guess it doesn't sound like there's a lot of room for, you know, you can go this way or this way. He tells you exactly what he wants.
Yeah, I mean, he's a tremendous quarterback with a ton of experience. So when he, you know, gives you some knowledge, it's really helpful for my game for sure.
You were the tight end, right?
I was, yeah.
Were you there last year too?
No, this was my first year.
So
Yeah.
what'd you get out of that? What'd you like about that?
Yeah, I thought it was a great experience. You know, getting around guys I've only kind of watched on film and tape and stuff, and kind of seeing them in person, kind of having a hands-on approach to it. I thought it was a really cool experience. Something from, you know, in college, you know, every tight end pretty much wants to be there. So it was a pretty cool experience. I got a ton out of it. Looking forward to going again next year.
What specifically did you learn that you maybe you didn't even know you didn't know?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say it's stuff I didn't entirely know, but just, you know, seeing how Kittle brings the physicality in the run game and also in the pass game, top of the route stuff, using his body really well, having that body control. I think that's something I took out of his speeches, especially, you know, in the classroom stuff. Learned a lot from Kittle.
Okay.
And then Evan Ingram, you know, how he moves and stuff, how smooth and fluid his movements are. I learned a ton from both of those guys and many others as well.
You meet Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
You got the meter?
Yeah.
Pictures, the whole thing?
No, I didn't ask for pictures. Yeah, no. I mean, I had a ton of music on my phone of her.
Theo, David talked about you blocking at the point of attack this morning. Is that something you take pride in, your blocking?
Yes, ever since Penn State. That's how I got on the field as a freshman in college. Is being able to block. Blocking first was kind of the mentality of Penn State, and that's something I bring with me here to the next level. You know, I think a tight end, you're supposed to be an all-inclusive player, someone that can do everything that the team needs, and blocking is part of that.
How is it seeing Abdul again every day?
It's awesome. Honestly, he's matured a ton. I think he's going to be a great player for us. Super proud of what he's done so far, and I think he's going to be really electric for us.
Take a few more.
A lot of guys have said, you know, Russ speaks life into them. So I'm curious, when you see a guy like Russ and he talks and he just inspires the guys, what does that do for you as a player, just to have someone who's that encouraging, that confident about himself?
Yeah, I think the energy he brings to the building every day is just infectious. You know, the way he carries himself, just a true pro, the same guy every day. That doesn't just, you know, impact the other quarterbacks in the room, that impacts the entire offense. And I think, you know, having him on not only our offense but on our team has been huge for everybody.
Do you think you could be an explosive big play player for this offense?
Yeah, I think that I can, you know, definitely step into a bigger role this year and add a little bit more value than I did last year. You know, last year was a lot of growing and kind of just jumping off the deep end. And I think, you know, as I look back to last year, I learned a lot of lessons, and even this offseason as well. So I think, you know, there's a role for me to fill for sure.
And do you think, I mean, you are such a physical specimen. Do you sense that on the field at times, that I can just be better than this guy because I'm bigger than this guy?
Yeah, that's definitely a part of tight end play, especially, you know, when you have some size, is not trying to be too cute, and sometimes you can always bail yourself out with just physicality.
Jersey Heat different than Florida Heat, or Heat is Heat?
Heat is heat. It's hotter in Florida. It's closer to the equator, so, you know, it's science.
Guys, whenever they talk about you, they always say communication. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it's part of the job, man. You know, it's just getting everybody lined up. If guys need to, you know, get help lined up, turn around and ask questions. I can see everything as a safety, so it's, you know, just making sure everybody's on the same page. Asking new questions, making sure he and I are on the same page, so that, you know, if we're all wrong, we're all right. So, yeah, clearing things up.
But you know, that's a job of that position. But guys here seem to think that you do it at a different level than some other guys. Do you think that's the case? I mean,
I think I do it at the level that I hold myself to do it as, if that makes sense. I mean, I feel like I just want to make sure everybody's clear. Anybody starts moving on the offense, sometimes it could create confusion. So, I just feel like communication is communication. As much as I can say to calm everybody else down, then that's what I try to do.
And is that a big responsibility? Because if things don't go right, do you take that hard? Like, I must have not got guys in the right place enough, you know what I'm saying? And when things go right, you say, that was good, that worked.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's in my job description, so, I want to make sure I do my job down in and down out. But, if it's within my field house and then something happens, then obviously I'm going to be upset at myself for not communicating. So, yeah, I hold myself to a high standard for sure.
You and Tyler, how's that relationship right now with you getting to know him and you guys working together? How's that from your perspective?
I think it's great. Tyler's a great communicator. He's a great player. He's fiery. He's got all the attitude, all the spunk. So I love playing next to Tyler. He does a great job.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, no. You guys are obviously talking a lot on the field together. Just when you guys are on the field together, is it just a matter of you see this, you say something, he says this, you say, like, how's that communication style working with you guys on the field?
It's like, basically that. Like, he sees something, he'll communicate with me. I see some reminders before the play, like any adjustments that we have to make, just reminding each other, what it is. Try to take it like one play at a time, so you're not just adding a bunch of just comments and it's like filling your head. But trying to simplify the game as much as possible so that it's like streamlined and everybody's on the same page.
Is it big bro, little bro type deal?
Not
Do you see it that way?
at all. I mean, he's my teammate. Whether I'm 35 and he's 20, or it's just he's my teammate, and I'm and we're playing this year, we're partners, so I'm trying to help him win.
Do you feel you and Paulson? I mean, sometimes guys in their draft class feel a kinship. You're a free agent draft class. You and Paulson. Do you feel that you kind of are both here, you're the same age, come in for the same reason? This team needed guys upgrade. Do you kind of see a kinship with him a little bit? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, he's got mannerisms, that were similar, and like he came in at the same time, so we kind of have like the same experiences with going to an organization and building there and then moving on, and now at a place where you're the vet and you've got to help lead people, and so finding comfortability in that. So Paul's a great guy. Debo's a great guy, and it's he as a vet he understands certain things, so it just makes things easier for us to bounce ideas off each other.
Big emphasis here coming out of last season was creating more takeaways. Just in your experience, what's the key to creating more takeaways?
Having the ball in your mind, running to the ball, being Johnny on the spot, seeking out the ball, punching the rock out, in any way, shape, or form, disrupt the quarterback. That's basically what it is. Having the ball at the front of your mind, and straining. That's how the ball, and takeaways happen.
I don't know if you got to go in the locker room yet. Did you talk to Burns or Wandale after their car wreck out there?
Nah, I don't know what. No, I didn't talk to him. It was bad. I was right there. It was loud. They'll be all right, though. They're tough.
Is that just an awkward, you don't see each other kind of thing when something like that happens? Just don't race for it, I guess?
I mean, yeah. I saw it just like y'all saw it. I mean, just run into somebody. It's like like you don't see somebody, they T-bone you in the car. What's that?
From Abdul.
He's a hell of a player. He's very explosive. Very explosive. That's what jumps off on film. And, he's making great strides, leaps and bounds. But I'm not, in the room with him, but, yeah, he's doing a great job.
As far as being a great communicator, I know it's part of your job, but when you were younger at all, was that something that was just kind of instilled in you, just being able to communicate really well and just express yourself?
How young?
Just maybe from, parents, teachers, anybody, kind of...
Yeah, I've always wanted to just express myself as an individual, But I think the communication part from a defense aspect comes from probably my rookie year under Flo. It was a very safety making adjustment based on the quarterback and formation defense, and guys relied on me for their success. So if something happened, I had to change the play so that they get it early so they can line up and they can get to their job. So for me, it's having that in mind. Even though this defense doesn't necessarily demand that type of adjustment, it's more so me just making sure everybody's on the same page with enough time to know their job and then lock in and then just react, not trying to actually think about what they got to do and whatnot.
And that was you doing that as a rookie?
That was me as a rookie, yeah.
So how do you, I mean, just coming in with that confidence, I guess, where does that come from? Just being able to say, hey, I'm in this role, I got to speak up. Like, does that come from anything?
Just doing it. Yeah, I mean, bank reps, bro. Like, I mean, obviously at first, you know, like this is my fifth defense coordinator. So after a while, like every year, you kind of, my bad, I don't know whose mic that is, but after every year, you know, I'm like relearning a defense every year, getting to know a defense coordinator every year. So I've like been through this type of phase of like, hey, it's early, you know, some things may slip my mind, but like we've still got, you know, X amount of practices, X amount of camp days to get it done. And then, you know, it's just like simple reminders and whatnot. So, yeah.
I think you said you would also share some mannerisms. Well, are those on the field or are those like your personality?
Mannerisms, not so much mannerisms as like I kind of understand how he plays, and being next to him, like playing on the same side of him, sometimes like I can tell what he's going to end up doing just based on how he plays. So I'll be able to like either tell him something or like react differently, or if, you know, somebody runs it over and he just shoots high, I'll be able to, you know what I'm saying, things like that, without giving you details on the scheme. But yeah.